What's going on, everyone? WX Ninja here, and unless you've been living under a rock, you pretty much know about tomorrow evening there's going to be a huge snow and ice storm here in the southeast. It's going to go all the way up to the east coast. So this is kind of just an easy way here to look at the precip. This is starting right now, basically. And as we go through, you'll see all this precip start to pick up. We'll look at a couple different views, but you can see it's just a lot of moisture to work with coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. As this low pressure moves out of Mexico, and then you'll see another reinforcing shot behind it as we look at a second model. This is going to be a major storm. It's going to be historic. I think the big thing too is after this storm moves out, right about in here, just a bunch of cold air behind it. So they're forecasting up to 2 feet of snow. You'll see another reinforcing shot. Now this is January 29th, so this is a week from now, so can't really count on it, but it is possible that we get another shot of some ice, some rain, maybe some more snow. We'll go over here to the GFS, and you can kind of see this a little differently. You'll see this low pressure center right here out of Mexico. Kind of goes bye-bye, but there's some moisture, and then kind of forms back up here because there's a second one off the California or over off Southern California there, and then boom. So this is tomorrow at 5 p.m. You can see Oklahoma, Texas. I mean, it's just moving right through the heartland. A lot of snow, a lot of ice. Exactly where everything's going to set up, who knows? Bottom line is someone's going to get a lot of snow, maybe up to 2 feet. Some places going to get maybe an inch of ice. I mean, that's just nasty. You see the warm tongue here from that warm southern air that's pulling in, and that moisture from the Gulf. Then you just see it starts to come up the east coast. But this is some heavy precip in here in different spots. You know, so if you look and an area gets a bunch of ice and then it warms up and starts raining, I mean, it's just prime for flooding too. There it goes up the east coast. And now you can see it's just going to clear out. It's going to get real cold. And then we'll see it's cold for a couple days, maybe some lake effect snow as there's a low pressure center up there. And then here comes the second one right here, pretty much out of the same place. Not as strong, but you'll see it here start to form up. Boom. And now looks like the rain is, you know, kind of in the same area, maybe a little further north. Excuse me. Obviously not as widespread. It's more of a narrow swath, but still with that southern moisture, I mean, that's some heavy snow in there. Could be some heavy ice, some heavy rain, probably thunderstorms. So you're looking at flooding. And if these people are without power, wow. I mean, could you imagine having no power and seeing this coming for you? More snow, more ice, more rain. Probably going to be a little windy too, those tight isobars. And it starts to move up the coast, turns into a nor'easter. Now again, beginning of February, this is a ways out. Not much confidence in it, but just something to keep an eye on. It could be a 1-2 punch. If we go over here to the euro, we'll see what it says, and it's pretty much, you know, going about the same. I'll stop it here at 5. There's 5. So the onset is a little different. It's saying not as heavy. Let's go back to 5 p.m. So a little bit more widespread here on the GFS versus the euro. But the result's kind of the same. Just a lot of precip in those areas. And it's just advancing towards the east coast. It seems maybe a little further north with the warmer air. Not much, but maybe a little bit. But still a lot. I mean, look at that heavy icing. Exactly where this line sets up, that's going to be the big deal. How far north is the warm air going to get in there with that southerly push of moisture? But still just a huge storm. I think the other thing too is if you look at this euro right here, it shows a little bit more warmer air coming up to the north. But if you already have ice and then you get a bunch of rain or snow, I mean, that's just, the rain melts the snow faster than any warm temperatures do. So that's when you start getting your flooding threats. So if you have 6 to 8 inches of snow on the ground and then it starts pouring, I mean, it's pretty easy to figure out, yeah, there's probably going to be some flooding. Because now you're melting all that snow at a rapid rate. And you're also going to have all of that rain coming down that's heavy. I mean, that's heavy precip. The other thing, too, is the snow ratio is going to be pretty high when it comes to how wet it's going to be. It's not going to be like the good powder skiing snow. It's going to be heavy, wet snow probably. Maybe not, far north, but close to this line. It's going to be heavier, wet snow. So that increases your water level right there with that heavy, wet snow. Obviously, there's more water in heavy, wet snow versus dry, powdery snow. So I think flooding will be a big issue. Power outages, of course. So you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be cold and they're going to be getting either rain and snow or ice or sleet or something. It's just not going to be a good time. It's going to be a major historic system. It's cool to see this, but I know the damage isn't what we want to see. Just as a weather nerd, you can appreciate something like this because it's kind of rare. But obviously we don't want to see people get hurt, die, and all that. But you kind of see it. It shows more rain. Like you got icing here, and then it just kind of goes into rain. Heavy, heavy rain. And then we can see what it does as it starts to go forward. Is it going to try to bring another system? The low showed up for a second, but the Euro doesn't go out as far as the GFS, so you can't really tell. It's too early to tell on that part, but another thing to watch is, the blue and the red lines here, and it gives you an indication of temperatures. Like this is obviously colder because it's blue and this is warmer. So you can kind of see as this develops, you see the cold air is coming down, and then kind of hits that point where this starts fighting with the southern track. Then as this ejects out, you can kind of see how it's just dug out here over the west. Cold, cold, and dry. That's pretty much, that's just what it's been all winter. I know winter's a little over a month old, but meteorological winter. This is just the pattern we've kind of been stuck in, where all the action has been definitely east of the Rockies. I live over here in Idaho. We haven't gotten really any snow to talk about, maybe a few inches. But again, you can watch, see how far out it's dug down into Texas. Now, we'll be warmer up over here, relative speaking. It's not going to be hot. And you can just see, it's almost all the way down here in Georgia and the Carolinas. It's cold. That's some cold, cold temperatures. And it just stays cold. And nothing really happens. Now, if you look at it on the GFS, if we want to go out further, there's after the storm has gone through. Cold, staying cold, staying cold. And then this comes. So this would probably warm it up just in the southern states a little bit. But again, you could see that cold air is just hanging around. So if you do indeed get 2 rounds down there, that's not going to be a good time. And then I guess now there's kind of a 3rd round. I wouldn't even worry about that because, like I said, it's so far out. But this is probably the best view, just to keep it simple. Just again shows that moisture. That's a lot of moisture in there. A lot of moisture. And you just see it spread towards the East Coast. That's a huge swath right there. It's just going to be something, to watch for. How much ice, where that line sets up. Is it a little further north, a little further south? Again, there's it drying out, and you see some southern moisture try to come in. And with that second system, wow, that could be really bad. If you live down in this area, it'd be cool to know what you guys get. Leave me a comment, let me know. But that's going to be the big story for this weekend going into next week is, exactly where does this line set up? This is kind of a better view of the actual precip. Like, where is this snow and ice line and rain line? Where's it all going to set up? And then how cold does it get after everything moves out? Hopefully you won't get too much ice so that you don't lose power. I mean, that's the worst thing. If it's 20 degrees outside and you have no power, that's rough. Especially if you don't have a generator or maybe a camper or something to go get in and warm up. It's going to be tough, because the other thing too is, obviously with all the roads being ice, there's going to be tons of trees down. Power crews, it's not going to be easy for them to get out. So it's going to take them a while to get the power back on if it does go out. And let's look at, it's going to be a little windy, not too bad, but like obviously it's tighter back there in the Four Corners region, but depending on how windy it gets too, I don't remember what it is, but I believe there's a threshold as far as getting in a bucket truck. The winds have to be under a certain mile per hour. And then it's just going to be cold and clear. Now this will give them an opportunity to get out there and, fix the roads and whatever else goes on. So while it'll be bitter cold, that will give them a chance to work. The other thing you'll have to worry about too is, what if you don't have power and they can't get to you because the road's washed out because of all this heavy precip? Like, what if you get a bunch of snow and ice and then it starts flooding because of the rain? Boom, the road's washed out. They can't get to you. They can't restore power. So there's just a lot of dynamics at play here that could really make things hard to get power back to people. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it, see how it goes. But that's going to do it for today. Obviously, I'll probably come back tomorrow. Probably right before it starts to kick off, and we can look at some radar and different things. Maybe I'll do a live stream, not sure, but appreciate everyone stopping by. Appreciate your support, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Take care.